this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was? Then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. I've warned everybody that this was going to become mandatory, and it has. Take a look, and please share this video with everyone you know, and make sure you listen to my commentary afterwards, because people need to understand this.
Well, good morning, Chris and Mary. Governor Cuomo's office says this new law will go into effect immediately. Its goal to protect the public after the worst measles outbreak in decades. Now, this yeshiva here behind us on Bedford Avenue remains closed today after violating public health orders. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo signed a bill in Albany Thursday ending vaccination exemptions based on religious beliefs as parents against vaccinations protested in assembly chambers.
The government does not have the right to interfere with my personal religious beliefs.
Senator Brett Hoylman sponsored the bill, which Governor Cuomo signed into law immediately after the legislature passed it.
If your kid is immunocompromised, and going to school or daycare center, you want to know that they're going to be safe.
This is a public health crisis.
The measles outbreak began in October and has spread through parts of Brooklyn, particularly in Orthodox Jewish communities.
Despite my pro-vaccination stance, and despite my beliefs that there are no religious restrictions, it is my constitutional duty to vote in the negative.
Since the start of June, there have been more than 250 confirmed cases of measles in Rockland County.
It's our obligation to act. We have to do everything we can to get the number of people vaccinated up.
Under the new law, parents will still be able to opt out of vaccinating for health reasons, such as a weak immune system. But besides that, unvaccinated children will not be allowed to go to school across the state.
We will not vaccinate. What's going to happen is we're going to either homeschool or we're going to move out of state.
Governor Cuomo's office says it's up to each school administration to enforce the law. Now, this yeshiva that was closed for violating orders will not be allowed to reopen until school officials put forward a plan to fix the problem. We're live in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. Natalie Duddridge, CBS 2 News.
Okay, Natalie, thanks.
Now, what were some of the key phrases in that statement, in that news clip? One of the our representatives in Congress, self-selected, of course, saying we have to get the number of vaccinations up. We have to. It's crucial. It's important. Almost sounds like a slip of the tongue there, Mr. David Carlucci. You have to get them up, huh? Isn't this about stopping the spread of this disease, the measles outbreak? This isn't the first state that this is happening in, but this is why it's important to show people what a hypocrisy this world is. And this statement I'm going to make right now should be enough for you to share with people, for a light bulb to go off in their head. Because this is nothing more than a liberal, satanic agenda. You know why? Because all we hear from the other side about abortion is women have the right to choose. It's a woman's body. They should be allowed to do whatever they want. That's all we hear. It's our bodies. It's our choice, right? All these celebrities who are out there, Alyssa Milano, etc. Oh, it's our body. It's our choice. But how come when it comes to vaccinations, suddenly that rule is out the window? Because it's my body and it should be my choice. Just like all you listening to this video. It's your body, it's your choices. What they're telling us, right? But see, it's more important for an abortion, right? Well, it's not killing of a life. Then, God forbid, the measles start to spread. We better get vaccinated. And then they come out and they tell you it is absolutely mandatory that we get this going. Religious exemptions out the window. And you know what's the last exemption left? To not get vaccinated in the state of New York and these other states, because this isn't the only state, but this is going to spread across the entire nation. Because they're just going to keep doing these little outbreaks stories in all these different states. But the one that remains, the one rule is unless, a doctor says that you can't, and you think one of these Freemason doctors is going to write you a prescription saying that you don't have to get your kid vaccinated. Now, the good thing to come of it is women, like the woman in the video saying, I'm homeschooling. But we know that they're going to take away homeschooling at some point because they're going to come up with fake news stories talking about the dangers of homeschooling. Oh, how kids don't fit in with other kids in the world. Oh, how they're not getting educated properly because they're not being educated by an educator. And the curriculum they're teaching isn't the same as the curriculum we're teaching. We have to make sure that we teach them our lies. We have to make sure we teach them a false history of the world. I mean, has anyone noticed in the midst of this YouTube purge how they're removing videos, not just videos like, in channels like mine and others who talk about these types of topics, history videos that are like questioning the way that certain events went down in history? I wonder why that is. Because they want it, and it has to be the way that they say it is, right? People are like, well, history doesn't lie. Oh, sure, they can't make that up. Why would they? To gain total control and make everything the way it is now. Yeah, sure. So we live in a country where more people than not have bought into the feminist movement, but bought into the, the being pro-abortion. Because of this quote, it's a woman's right to choose. It's her body, it's her choice. But when it comes to vaccinations, folks, it's not your body and it's not your choice. It's the government's. It belongs to the government. You know why? Because you might get someone else sick even though they're vaccinated. So wait a minute. For the millionth time, let's all say it together. If someone is vaccinated and I'm not, why am I a threat? Because they have the vaccination in them. So they're immune to getting sick. I can't get them sick because they've been vaccinated. Capiche? Is it that hard to understand? Or are they going to come out and admit that the vaccines don't work and what the real agenda is behind it? Listen to some of these quotes from Governor Cuomo here. I mean, this guy is dumb as rocks. He says, the science is crystal clear. Vaccines are safe, effective, and the best way to keep our children safe. What science is this? Huh? By these people saying this, do you know that they're saying that they're 100% effective? Right? And if they're saying it's 100% effective, then me and you not being vaccinated cannot get Governor Cuomo or his kids sick from the measles. Meanwhile, these people who demand vaccinations don't even vaccinate their own kids. Dr. Oz, Bill Gates. And they talk about population control. And nobody addresses the rise in diseases like autism and things like that. No, you know what they do instead? They normalize it. They put television shows on ABC from The Good Doctor. Oh, it's normal to be autistic. Don't, as if like people are making fun of someone who's autistic. They're just normalizing it because they want people to go, oh, it's natural for someone to be born autistic. It's not from vaccines or anything. It's just they were born that way, right? We've heard that a million times. LGBT, born that way. Autistic, born that way. That's why the statistics are through the roof on autism. Never seen something grow that high other than the statistics on diabetes, and I wonder why that is. Because of the crap that they shove in our food. Or the increase in Alzheimer's and dementia. Well, that can't be anything from the chemtrailing, right? The science is crystal clear. It says vaccines are safe, effective, and the best way to keep our children safe. This administration has taken aggressive action to contain the measles outbreak, but given its scale, additional steps are needed to end this public health crisis. He says, while I understand and respect freedom of religion, our first job is to protect the public health, and by signing this measure into law, we will help prevent further transmissions and stop the outbreak right in its track. This is now effective immediately in New York. So if you live in New York, I thought it was important for you to know. It is mandatory because they're claiming they're dealing with a public health emergency that requires immediate action. And you know that this is coming to your state, right? What's the next one going to be? Ebola? Something's coming. Oh, thousands of people. I mean, they can't even give you a Photoshop picture here. Worthwhile. This picture of like someone's back with the measles. I mean, I showed the video, of the one news outlet, I think it was NBC, and they fake measled up a child because it was a stock photo that you could find online. And then they edited it out. I mean, they're getting caught in their tracks. This is why they need censorship online so badly. Because people are just pointing this stuff out. People are pointing out hypocrisy. I mean, you don't have to be the smartest person in the room. Does it not make sense for me to sit here and say that this is a satanic liberal agenda by pointing out the fact that all of these are the same people, the quote-unquote Democrats, even though there's no such thing as left and right, but these people who classify themselves as that, the same people who say a woman has a right to choose are coming out and saying, and saying a woman has a right to choose, it's her body, she could do what she wants with it. But then when it comes to measles, we're talking about the death of a child versus measles and the chicken pox. But when it comes to that, oh boy, you don't have the right to choose. The government does. And we're going to inject you with stuff and you're going to have no idea what it is. But science is going to tell you that it's safe. Hypocrisy is what we live in. Share this video. People need to know, because even if they're pro or anti, this is hypocritical. If we're going to be pushing this whole your body, your choice, this is garbage. Because like we've all said, let's say it one last time. If I have no flu shot and no vaccination and the guy in the room does, then he is not going to be affected. So who cares, right? If we're all such crazy conspiracy nuts, then let us all get the measles and let us all die off, right? Because you'll all be safe because you're vaccinated. They are stripping away our rights day after day after day, from free speech to what they can put in our bodies, just taking away guns, creating this new thing called hate speech. Like it's just, people are so socially engineered. Nobody's stepping back going, wait, when did this even get created? Hate speech. If somebody calls you fat, can you say it's hate speech? Because it hurts your feelings? Oh, it's only specified to a group. All right, well, a group of fat people. That is called taking away speech. You see the comments I get on videos about these musicians, these celebrities. People go on forums and they're like, we have to stop him. He's attacking Little Mix. We better stop him. Let's all flag his videos. He has no right to say that. No right to have an opinion and point things out? These people realize what they're doing? They're idiots. Socially engineered buffoons. And this is what we've gotten to, where we're allowing them to tell us what they can do with our bodies. The only hope that comes out of it is that people start homeschooling. But I'm telling you right now, you better get to it, because it's not going to be allowed for much longer. It's just not. They're going to make fake stories up, because that's the whole point of the news, saying why it's dangerous to homeschool. There's going to be events that occur, all these types of, whatevers that they make up to influence people through mind control, to persuade them through social engineering that homeschooling is dangerous and everybody should mandatorily have to go to school because it's not fair for the kid, because it makes it harder for the kid to get a job in the workplace. I mean, they'll think of it all and everyone will fall for it. Hook, line, and sinker. But I should say stinker, because that's what this does. This whole thing just stinks. I thank you for listening to today's show. Spread this information. God bless all of you and your families.